for those of us who know.
People can assume.
Oh, no. Off the record. You tested here. What did we learn? You guys are super quick. And I think the name of the game this weekend is track positions, aka really focusing on qualifying.
I think actually what is going to be fun is to see who trims the most for qualifying. It's going to be kind of one of those situations where I think because we're allowed to run so much downforce, like you can make it feel good. Like, yeah, okay, 3/4 flat easy, but then how are you going to make it the fastest? So that'll, I think, be something that we really need to pay attention to. Who is going to be able to trim the most, and then what's going to be your decision for the race. But I think, again, as you said, qualifying is premier important.
Super hot. I believe you'll be wearing a hydration sensor this weekend, maybe. What's the heat coming through?
That's news to me, but
now you know. Breaking news.
Knowing's half the battle.
I mean, honestly, it's no different than Iowa. If anything, probably way better than Iowa. It's just an evening, an evening thing. I guess it's like a pre-dinner
supper. Supper race.
Supper time. I mean, it's going to be hot. It's all the time hot here, so it's nothing out of the ordinary, really. I think the only thing that's going to be tough is that the more downforce, the more weight. The car is definitely tougher to drive in this era, I think. So we'll just see. I don't have enough experience to know what this car is like to drive for 4S distance yet, so we'll see.
I feel like you probably know some guys on this Coast team, some familiar names and faces.
Yeah, I mean, there's even still one guy who's on our 2010 championship winning team, so Ricardo's brother, Ali. Yeah, I mean, 80% of them are Carlin guys, so like it's people that I know really well, and Ricardo's brought a couple other really good people in too. So it's a lot of good folks and several folks that I've worked with in different areas or different places too. So it's kind of a nice environment to be in because it feels familiar.
Signing with the team, like, how important of an opportunity is this for you to help you look forward to 2025 and possibly this crazy silly season in IndyCar?
Well, with how the silly season's gone, I have no idea what to say and where you could fit in. But yeah, obviously, doing some work on the track is the best thing that you can do. So we'll see. I mean, these are, I think, some great events that we can take advantage of for sure, especially this one this weekend. And because we got to test, we feel really good and feel really confident about it. But everyone still has to execute on the highest level. I mean, this is not an easy sport to be successful in. So everyone has to do everything right, and that's very difficult to do. So we'll see what we can do. We feel confident. Milwaukee, I really have no idea. Nashville, I really don't know. Portland, I'm very familiar with. But obviously, there's a very different car now to drive. The hybrid element on the road courses, from what I've heard, is much different than what it has been. So yeah, it's just same story, different day. It's a challenge no matter what. But I mean, I feel good about it.
Is there any difference from Iowa compared to Iowa a year for the hybrid? That is.
I think I felt it more here when we tested for sure than I did at Iowa, because I think you have more of an opportunity to get straight here, whereas Iowa, you're always turning on the front straight, so you're and then down the back straight it happens so fast. I don't really know if I had enough time to take advantage of this. So I wish it was double the length that it was, I believe, the boost, but you can definitely feel it. So it'll be very interesting to see how people use it in qualifying, because I don't think you can recharge enough to use it fully on 2 laps. So that'll be an interesting way to that way that people use it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You have now driven for every team in the paddock outside of Ganassi and Penske. Yeah?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I almost drove for Ganassi in 2010. So
hang on a second.
Wait a minute.
Now you got
just one race. No, I feel like I've told this story a ton. When Charlie Kimball got hurt and broke his wrist before Mid-Ohio.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Jim called my dad, and I was so my dad thought I was too young to do it. Yeah, I know. That was definitely a missed shot. We look back on that now, and it's darn, that's a real shame. Maybe life would have been real different at that point. But that was kind of a wild scenario. Giorgio Pentano Romano was in the car.
That's right. Yeah, he's the super. He's the Roberto. We see him every 10 years. I think it's about time for Giorgio Contino. Actually,
He's got to get back.
We've got to bring him back. So you mentioned higher downforce. A lot of the drivers have been talking about it. More downforce typically makes oval racing better. What's the thought process of more downforce here? Is that something that you guys kind of were lacking in the racing department here the last couple of years, or is it not going to make too much of a difference?
I don't really know. I think what it potentially gives you the opportunity to do is stay side by side for longer on restarts. I think the amount of drag maybe makes the toe more important and the draft more aggressive. But yeah, I still think because this entire lap is based on how good you get through 1 and 2, and now 3 and 4 is flat, almost flat. But also the drag creates a way more aggressive fuel consumption. So, 3 stops, what we see is like very not realistic. And who knows who knows how that'll play. So I think we saw some comments after the test that were like maybe a little bit disheartening, but I don't think we should really judge that until we get into it and see how kind of comparison. So we'll see.
You have your goals. And the team, as we know, probably has the last top 22.
Yeah.
What makes the end of this season successful for Conor Daly? If you look back at a month.
Man, honestly, here after the test, I want to be at the front. I think we deserve to get here. I think, depending, I don't know how everyone else is going to do, obviously, when they show up here, but I think after the test, we're really confident about it. But I think the actual present one of those opportunities that crap, something crazy. You know what I mean? And that's what we want to take away. It's honestly a road course where, I've seen people go dead last and they win the race, right? So, there's craziness that can happen all across the board. And so I think it gives us a good opportunity. I just want to leave knowing that, we've had some strong results to finish. And I honestly just want to get through the race where everything goes right. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's it. It just feels like it's not a lot to ask for, but it's hard. Yeah.
Thank you.
Spike.
Hi, I'm Christopher DeHardy with Frontstretch.com. If you enjoyed what you just saw, hit the like button and subscribe for some more great racing content.